As far back as I can remember, I have always known I wanted to pursue a career in film. I started messing around with my parents' camera when I was about 6 years old. They showed me how to take pictures and how to switch the camera to video mode, and that's all I needed to know in order to start filming things. After hours of digging through old family camcorders, this seems to be the first movie I ever made. So here we have our establishing shot. Next we pull into a little tighter shot showing off our characters. Here's the villain peeking down at our heroes, and he tackles our main character onto the floor. After fighting off the villain, our main character says,
"This is our place now. Nobody else can take it."
Our main character calls in his pirate ship, and obviously makes the bad guy walk the plank, where the bad guy is eaten by an undead zombie bone shark. As a kid, I would record anything, or do dumb skits with my family.
Hello, am I on WABI's talk show? With George Clooney? George? Where are you, George? Oh, there you are, George.
Once I started to get older, I began to experiment with editing. After hours of YouTube tutorials, I achieved this. At this moment right here, I fell in love with editing. Jump forward a few months and a lot more hours of YouTube editing tutorials, I threw together one of my first edited scenes on iMovie 08.
Come all this way to fight you.
I accept your challenge.
As I got older, I continued to film and make edits. It was always just a hobby to me. But once I got into high school, I started to take things more seriously and started exploring my options for a career. My parents had seen my passion for film and editing throughout the years, and for my birthday present freshman year, my parents sent me to Boston to the Digital Media Academy for a week-long intro into film summer camp, and I loved it. Being around other kids who enjoyed filmmaking as much as I did was amazing. After that summer camp, I really knew that film was for me, and my parents recognized that too. For Christmas my sophomore year, I got an iMac, Final Cut Pro X, and After Effects. I went crazy with editing clips and recording. It got continuously harder to try to make videos with friends as high school went on. My friends liked acting in my videos, but none of them ever liked doing the behind-the-scenes work like camera and editing. Having to plan recording around their sports events and practices, I didn't end up making as many videos as I wish I did in high school. Junior year, I got offered a job at the local TV station in my town called Channel 11, so I quit my job at Subway for Channel 11. Sure, I knew I was going to be making less money at Channel 11, but I knew I would be enjoying it much more, and that's what really counted to me. Channel 11 was completely run by one guy until I was hired. It was so awesome going into work and learning more about production and camera from my boss. He really taught me a lot about the behind-the-scenes work. While I was there, I was setting up lights, setting up sets, editing, going to film local town events, town meetings, and I even got to have my own little show on the channel's Facebook page, which was called Madison Minute, where I covered events going on at my high school. During the end of junior year and going into summer, it was really time to start thinking about colleges. Me and my parents scoured the internet for possible college options, and none of them really piqued my interest. I knew I couldn't take a whole nother 4 years of school and take all kinds of classes that didn't matter to me, but then I discovered Full Sail, and it perfectly fit my criteria. I sent in my application along with my scholarship essay. If I didn't get in, I really had no other plan B. Time passed, and eventually I got home, and I brought my mail in, like I do every day, and I set it down on the kitchen table for my parents to read, and out of the corner of my eye, I see the orange plane. I immediately grabbed it and ripped it open, and the first thing I see is congratulations. As I read more, I see that I earned a $20,000 scholarship for my Creative Minds essay. I was so in shock, but also so relieved after reading my acceptance letter. At that point I knew I had a long life of film ahead of me, and I wouldn't want it any other way. So, who am I? I never really thought about it too much before this project, but if I had to give you an answer, I'd tell you I'm a filmmaker, an editor, a perfectionist, and a creative individual who doesn't follow the crowd. But most of all, I am Tanner Johnson, and I wouldn't want to be anyone else.